All right, guys, we got a surprise. Today, we got what we needed. Ooh-wee. So let me show you what we got. This is my my mounting bracket for the shifter. That's first thing. Second thing, instead of me going ahead and re-welding the other drive shaft, I got this drive shaft, which is the proper length and size. Does need a carrier bearing, but should be good to go once that is fixed. But the most important of this whole thing is what's under it. This guy. I got my clutch pedal. This factory 300Zx clutch pedal. It's in good shape. So this seems like to be a tendency with me, is I end up getting overzealous and just start working. But this, I just had to show you guys this real quick. All right, that's for my clutch plate, or where my slave goes and where my clutch pedal bolts into. All it is glued on to the firewall. So this is really, really nice to, it was tacked a little bit here. You guys can see that hole and see where the metal came off. But all I did was take a flathead screwdriver and just slowly knock this out until this whole plate popped out. And that covered it up. So that gets rid of me having to do any kind of drilling or anything like that. And now I can install my clutch pedal and the slave cylinder. So guys, this is both the clutch pedal and my clutch master. And if you guys see how it bolts in, on the factory ones, they actually bolt in up here too, to secure it to some framework inside the car. But I actually think it may be very difficult for me to reach this. When I took it out of the car, the other donor car this morning, I could not hardly reach this without breaking the dash. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to bolt it in up top here, but definitely it will be able to access the back here. So I'm pretty excited about that. So this will literally go in a couple seconds. So you guys can see the holes up there. Yep. Getting closer. All right, guys, it's time to get all of my little stuff cleaned up. Where I left off yesterday is I got my clutch pedal and my clutch master cylinder installed. So now what I need to do is I'm gonna clean up all of this. So first things first, what we're gonna do is actually, I'm gonna shorten all of these. I do not need all of this length here. So I'm pretty much gonna tie back from the connector here to back here. So then this stays wrapped up and insulated in my wire with my wires. I do not need this as my power here. I do not need this guy. And then several other things I do not need. I do not need this guy here, this guy as well. So we're gonna cut all these back. I'm gonna shorten them, solder them together, tape them back, and then I believe I'm gonna run the harness right along the frame rail here.
Underground thunder pounds when I stomp the ground like a million elephants and silverback orangutans. You can't stop a train. Who wants some? Don't come unprepared. I'll be there, but when I leave there, better be a household name. Weatherman telling us it ain't gonna rain, so now we sitting in a drop top soaking wet in a silk suit trying not to sweat. In summer sauce without the net, but this be the year that we won't forget. 1999. I don't know anything goes. We what you wanna be, long as you know consequences are given for living the fences. Too high to jump in jail, too low to dig. I might just touch hell. Get a life not on sale, then I might catch you a spell. Look at what came in the mail. Careless bomb and hammer, so go grill and a baby mama. Black Cadillac in the back of Pampers. Stack of questions with no answers. Cure for cancer, cure for AIDS. Make a nigga wanna stay on tour for days. Get back home, things are wrong. When I really it was bad all along before you left ass up to a wrong power.
I've been working on getting this interior back together. I actually was working on the shifter, and I'll show you what I did, because I had got this shifter plate from a Z32 out of the junkyard. It did not fit the automatic, so I kind of trimmed it down, and then I used self tappers here. Yeah, so it works now. Everything, it shifts real good. I still keeping my BMX style shifter, but yeah, it works real good. All of this stuff here is just my radio stuff. So I'm gonna rewire this tomorrow and go from there, and then button all this stuff back, and then also install the drive shaft. All right, found out something else. My horn was never hooked up. Here's my positive and negative. Actually, I have no idea if it's even hooked up anywhere in there. They have the wires, look. So there's a lot to go through still. It's all right. If it doesn't have, I'm not gonna hook it up for now, because I'm gonna get I want to get new pieces, all of this stuff new and solid. This guy here solid as well. But yeah, just more stuff. The more I dig, the more I find. But the main thing is the LS swap is happening, and that's way more solid than what was in here before. Normally, any other time, I would be complaining about this, but right now, since we're on lockdown and I ain't doing nothing other than working on the Z, this don't even bother me. Getting ready to do some grocery shopping, but before we go grocery shopping, I just ordered some parts for the Z here. I got a full braided clutch line that goes full solid clutch line that goes from the clutch master all the way to the slave on the transmission. Yeah, I was telling everyone how normally I would complain about the snow, but since we're not doing anything, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't not matter.
Yeah, it's like, she looks so good. I can't, you guys don't even understand. I can't wait to put the car intake manifold on here and then just move. Hopefully I could just move the alternator over here, right in there, and then everything will shut. And then I have a 90-degree elbow for it, and then I can run the rest of the intake. I don't want to just run open. Yeah, there's lots to do. I'm really excited to get this thing to drive. It's just a bunch of little stuff right now, and all right guys, I tried my hand at making my drive shaft, which I was successful at. This is what we got going on. We're gonna try, worst case scenario, this thing doesn't work. I will be getting a carrier bearing. I have 2 drive shafts, so I figured I could sacrifice one so I could learn how to make my own, and then if this one's really out of balance, we'll figure out how to balance it and then go from there. But for right now, I wanted to give it a go. I gave it a go. So far it looks good. Everything was clean. I measured the old drive shaft and matched it to this one. Just added in the rear here from the 300Z, which so happened to be the same exact diameter as the one piece that I was using before on the GMW. So, like I said, worst case scenario, if this guy doesn't work, I have a secondary drive shaft over there that I could use with the carrier bearing. So, yeah, so we'll figure we'll give it a go right now. Got the drive shaft all bolted in. I don't know. Oh, it was way too dark, but yeah, it's in there. Way too dark. Drive shaft's all bolted in. We're gonna start working on some exhaust stuff tomorrow. So if I could at least get the mid pipes and stuff on the car, then all we will lack to get this thing running and driving is, one, I got to do some coolant stuff, power steering lines, and then my the rest of the hydraulics for the clutch. But other than that, you know, the drive line is connected and bolted in place, sway bar back in place. Yeah, we're getting down to the home stretch, which is really cool. So exhaust work tomorrow. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow.
It's the time for games and it's the time to kill. Make up your